Hello guys, good evening everyone. Today is May 21st, 2020, and today we are going to talk about the Philippine market and let us see how your favorite stocks performed. And I have in front of me the stocks that you have requested from my invite in Investograms and of course from the comments that you have left on my previous video. Okay, so we are going to, of course, discuss PSEI, IDC, PZZA, RRHI, MBT, DITO, MAC, MWIDE, Blue, DNL, GTCAP, MAG, JFC, NIKL, AC, Tech, SSP, and PXP. Okay, so let us take a look at our PSEI first. Okay, so we are starting to show some super slight recovery in how our market has performed, our index has performed. For the past 3 days, it's moving to the upside. However, we are still sitting at a short-term resistance over here, but it's trying to break that. Uh, half of today's candlestick's body is already trying to cross that path there at the MA20 line. So let us see if tomorrow it will successfully break that short-term resistance there. In the meantime, if it does, this is our short-term resistance. Okay, so this is the area where it could potentially encounter some difficulties surpassing. Okay, but overall, I feel that it will continue to move upwards. The next one is IDC. Okay, IDC, I still see some bearish signals over here. We are sitting at a support at the moment. Okay, and let us see if it will sustain that. The reason why I said this is because as we move downwards, the body of the candlestick is starting to show a decrease in size. What you see here from a big candlestick, the body now becomes smaller or thinner and thinner and thinner. And as we move downwards, the volume is also declining. That means people are no longer interested in releasing their positions at the moment. Probably they feel that this is already a cheap area and they're holding on to their positions. So tomorrow could be a wait and see game. We don't know yet. It's a Friday. Normally people are taking profit on a Friday, but in this case, we're seeing a possible support build up in this area. So let us see if it will bounce. Okay, so just observe the market if you have the chance. That's the support. The next one is PZZA. PZZA also sitting at a support level for the past 4 days. This is the area where it is stopping at. In fact, it did not even go any lower than this point. I think it is starting to show some recovery there. This is your support. Okay, so even though it's a red, it showed some stabilization around this area. So let us see if it will continue to move up. Your bull bear meter over here shows a large portion on green. That means the buying sentiment here is also the buying sentiment is higher than the selling sentiment. All right, there you have it. So 5.68 is our support level. The next is RRHI. RRHI, be extra careful while we see there's a dividend here. On the 29th of May, we are now technically much lower than the previous high over here, so maybe it will rest, and if it will rest, I think that it will reach this part first. This is the area where it could potentially bounce and just see. Okay, however, also I need to mention this, we're near that overbought area, which is going to trigger now a message that we are starting to look a little bit expensive, but I'm not saying too expensive, because if you are to zoom out some more, look where we are at. we're still at the lower section of the spectrum here. So that means we we rallied for several weeks since March. Okay, we reached the bottom over here, and then we rallied to the upside. So uh, if it will rest, let's not be surprised if it will rest, because that's the nature of the stock. If it rests, you also have to plot some areas where it could potentially bounce. Okay, so our first area to monitor would be 66.97. So just in case it bounces there, then you might potentially have another wave of bullish actions in the coming days. Okay, 66.97 is the nearest one that I can see. Okay, if I'm going to remove this area as well is your MA20 line. It's where it lies. So that supports our analysis that that could be a possible bounce in that level. But in the meantime, I see that this stock will most likely dip for a bit. And let us see next. MBT. As for MBT, okay, slight recovery over here, but very, very minimal movement. And this is the support area that we see. Okay, the next resistance would be your MA20 line here. We are still moving sideways for this stock overall, but at least we're starting to show some recovery. While the price is moving downwards here, if I am to plot a slanting line, price moving downwards, and we go check how your RSI behaves, and it has been on a bullish divergence, and when the price is going down and RSI is moving up, then of course uh, that's a sign that we are going to shift in direction. But mind you guys, it has been a long time since we've seen that kind of formation, and this was the movement. So it took how many months? 1 month and a half for it to manifest this kind of bounce, but not 100% sure yet, because it can still revisit your 34.07 level. But if you are talking to an investor, this area is actually a very attractive area to start accumulating volume. That is why you will notice, look at the, I don't know what you call this, like the cloud, that shows the trend in volume there. The average volume is only running at this pace before, but when it dropped big time, that's where you see a big hump there. So that means there's accumulation. People are starting to put their money in MBT now. They see this very, very attractive position. So that when the time comes that it rallies to the upside, they are already in. So for those people like small time retailers like us, this is an opportunity. If you have, let's say, if you are a working, uh, if you're part of the workforce, you're employed, each time you have money during a payday, put some funds there. Okay, invest an amount that you think you will not be needing anytime soon. Just a gentle reminder on that. Do not use the money that you need to that you need for your mortgage, that you need to for your payment for the rent. Do not use those, because we really do not know how long it will take for this to change its direction. So that's just the main message there. Dito. As for Dito, I see again recovery here. It respected our MA20 line. Okay, so that could be a good sign. However, where is the next resistance? So the next resistance is very near. It is right over here. And if you ask me why, as you can see now from where it is at right now, I look at the next area that is slightly higher, and where you also see accumulation. So this one, So if I look from here to the left a screen, I see this, which is why it dropped there. But the next possible height or next stop as a possible resistance is right here. For several days, price was hitting that, and it is struggling. And you also had one over here, so it supports our idea that your resistance is nearby, and that is at 2.35. Now what I want you to do is observe when the price hits this level. Look at your RSI. Do you still see a declining RSI? Because right now it is technically a declining RSI. That means the momentum is starting to die down. So if, for instance, price moves higher and then your RSI is still showing the same pattern, be extra careful because there might be a sell-off that's going to happen next. Okay. Sometimes though, when we officially break that, then that's a good story because your previous resistance will not become your support. So chances are, if it breaks that, this is how it will look like. Goes a little higher. We don't know how high actually, but it will also revisit that and retest your support. That's the ideal movement. Okay, when it rallies to the upside. Okay, the next one is Mac. Mac, be extra careful. This is still resting. I think I mentioned this previously. When there's a dramatic increase in the price, normally the next day, in the next day or two, it rests. Okay, people are just taking profit. And one thing to be curious about is that while the price is declining, right, for 2 days straight, only a few of them are actually selling. People are still holding on to their position because I think we have reached a bottom for this stock. And the bottom is just about in the 3.58 area. So if you want to be a little conservative and yes, you want to engage in the stock, but you want to get the maximum potential of your investment, then go ahead and wait for it at the support level. That's a much safer entry level than where it is at right now. The next is MWIDE. MWIDE also stabilizing, doing sideways. I feel that this is our support 4 days straight. Price is just sitting at the 5.05 or 5.010 level, 5.05. So I feel that we are going to bounce in this area as well. Notice this, price was moving downwards. Your RSI, on the other hand, is showing us a buildup in momentum, starting to climb over here. Therefore, we are about to face a possible reversal at the moment. Bloom. Bloom also starting to show some recovery here, but don't rush. Bloom is taking its sweet time doing sideways movement over here. So 5.19 is a strong support that we see at the moment. So I hope it's fine. At least it will give the majority a chance to get in and start accumulating volume. But one thing to be extra careful of is when it breaks your 5.19 level. Because when it does, it will drop some more up to this point. Okay, 4.32. Okay, so those are our key areas to monitor. DNL. As for DNL, also similarly looking pattern here. Our chart is doing sideways. This is your support level, guys. And also take note of this. This used to be a resistance, and then we broke that, and then it's revisiting it. So 4.95, that's a support area we see. Okay, if it breaks that, next drop around this level, 4.03. Okay. GTCAP. Okay, let's check. Oh wow. still on a decline. Volume is still there, meaning people are still releasing. Okay, they're releasing some more positions for this stock, and I suggest wait for that confirmation. It's not yet done. I think it'll continue to dip, and even though I see some bullish divergence here, uh, note that it can happen for several weeks or even days to dip and show that kind of formation. We just need to see a validation of a bounce. I think I mentioned this previously. I want to see a green engulfing candlestick, so that will be our main confirmation that we are now about to change the direction. Meg. As for Meg, oh, see, sometimes you don't really have the best emotions. So I know I entered 2.63. I cut my loss somewhere here. I think in this area. But that was really small loss. I think around 500 pesos. But I exited. And now there's foreign buying 9 million, green engulfing candlestick. So I feel bullish. Okay, this is a bullish candlestick, and we feel that we are going to have some more green days for this particular stock. Tomorrow, for instance, I see that it'll continue to move up. Okay, that's for Meg. JFC. JFC is still sideways. I think it'll take a long time. Just it'll do sideways. It might take some time before it goes up. And yeah, if you're going to ask me if it'll drop, yes, it can possibly drop, but only up to this point. That's the lowest. I feel that that's the lowest. Overall, we're very cheap for this stock. I think this is a price level back in uh, what 2013. Okay, so if you just joined the stock market, the market has actually given everyone a chance to experience a price level that was uh, 7 or 8 years ago, right? So those who are starting now, you're very lucky. But of course, this is the stock market. It can be risky. We don't really know how uh, deep those drops can be because we're not out of the woods yet. The pandemic is still uh, at its height, right? Um, I don't see it slowing down yet, so let's all be extra careful there. And yeah, we don't know how it could potentially impact the market, but for now, I see that this is the lowest. This is the bottom that I have here. Nickel. Nickel here. Okay, people are just taking profit. 588 trades. That's just an okay area, but I think it'll continue to move up. So if the market gives you a chance at this level, this could be the nearest support area, 1.53. People take profit, and it will potentially bounce at the 1.53 before it goes up again. Okay, you're at the double bottom phase. AC. As for AC, it is a bounce for AC. Okay, good job here. So for those people who used the green candlestick yesterday as their main trigger or hint to enter, then good job to you guys. When you entered at the starting price, that was already a 2.93% gain. And I feel that it'll continue to move up, but just of course being conservative, this is our next resistance. So we don't really know if that will be broken. Good if it'll do a gap up and starts higher than 705 level. So That means if it go beyond that line, that now will become your support. Previous resistance will become a support. Something like this. Okay. Okay. The next is tech. This is an interesting game. Let me see how this ended. Okay. So tech, I feel that we will have. This is a sign of a bounce for tech. Okay, so that's a sign of a bounce. And in case, I think tomorrow we might have some more bullish actions for this stock. And if the market, some people might take profit. Uh, of course, I'd like to plot our profit area. I mean, our support area here. Okay, so this is the support that we see at the moment. 2 days straight, it's sitting at that level. Okay, here, also here. Okay, so I think this is an area to closely monitor. I hope it doesn't break that. You also have a good volume here. And the RSI is still not in the oversold or overbought level. It's just at the center. So let's see if there's a good game tomorrow. SSP. As for SSP, you're sitting at a short-term resistance here. Okay, so be extra careful because this used to be a resistance and we're now sitting at that area. And when it tried to exceed that, look what happened here. It went down. So maybe it is still respecting that 1.36 level as a resistance area. Look at this. We're sitting at the same point, but your RSI is on a decline, meaning your momentum is starting to die down. And last for tonight, for this part, is PXP. As for PXP, I think it'll go back to your previous support. Today's candlestick is a bearish candlestick. Therefore, I feel that people might continue to take profit and revisit your 4.70 level. So be extra careful there. Okay, but if you ask me how far it'll go downwards, yeah, that's just it. 4.70 level. I think that is around 8%. So the nearer you are to that yellow line, the safer it is. Because if you just enter random in a random area, that's already an 8% possible drop. Okay, but if you enter near a support, normally a support level is where the price is bouncing. So if you put a stop loss lower than the support area, then the probability of it being hit is slimmer now. Okay, so that's why it's really nice to enter at the support level. In the meantime, okay, that is it for this part. Again, like yesterday, I was able to record a part 2. So if I was not able to cover your request, feel free to drop a comment and outline the stocks that you would like me to review. Because if I have the chance tonight, I can also create a part 2 of our stock market insights for today. So if you have not subscribed yet to our channel, please do hit that subscribe button and then click the notification bell so that you're always updated whenever we have new videos. Okay? And don't forget to like. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.